Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Robert Baylor, Director of Communications at NUCA. Welcome to our latest Webinar Wednesday. First, before we begin, some webinar housekeeping for attendees. Today's webinar will be recorded. It will be available on NUCA's YouTube channel that can be accessed via the front page of nuca.com. All participants are muted upon entry. Phone participants can use *6 to mute and unmute themselves. Questions will be asked at the end of the presentation. To ask a question, you can submit a written question at any time using the chat feature, and I'll read them at the conclusion of our discussion. Now let's get started. Over the last 4 years, NUCA has offered its members a unique app called NUCA WINS. Today we're going to find out more about the newest version of the app, NUCA WINS version 3.4, powered by AI. NUCA WINS is an incident recording app that your company's employees can easily operate on their mobile device to document a job site incident at its point of occurrence, as well as collect any type of data directly from the field. Designed specifically for NUCA contractors, last month the NUCA WINS team released version 3.4. This afternoon, I'm going to talk to A.D. Feinstein of Compatica, the software company behind this innovative app. During this 30-minute session, A.D. will walk you through the core features and benefits and show how NUCA WINS uses AI to bring greater accuracy, clarity, and simplicity to job site information collection. This app has been helping NUCA members reduce costs, improve safety, and protect themselves against unwarranted utility strike claims. AD, I turn the webinar over to you.
Bob, thank you so very much. Good afternoon to everyone. I'm A.D. Feinstein coming to you on behalf of Compatica, the publisher of NUCA WINS, and we are located in Cary, North Carolina, where on Saturday we will either have 37 inches of snow, 6 inches of an ice cap, or sunshine. Nobody seems to be quite certain at this point. In any event, let me give you some context here. So NUCA WINS is a job site data collection app that's built around the reality of how work actually happens in the field. At a high level, it handles two equally important kinds of information. First, there's reactive data. That's the information you need to capture when something happens. Things like injuries, property damage, utility strikes, vehicle incidents, safety observations, or near misses. When an event occurs, NUCA WINS makes it easy to document it immediately and accurately. Then there's proactive data. That's the information you collect ahead of time to prevent problems in the first place. Pre-dig surveys, safety audits, equipment checklists, and similar reports all fall into this category. What makes NUCA WINS powerful is that it manages both of these data types end to end, from recording in the field to review and follow up to reporting and analytics. And when it's needed, it even connects the proactive and reactive data together, so you can see the full picture, not just isolated reports. So what we're going to do is I'm sharing my screen. So NUCA WINS is comprised of two core components. The first one is the app, which runs on your choice of Apple devices such as iPhones and iPads, or Android devices such as smartphones and tablets, as well as web apps. And I'm running this right now using my iPad mini, which we're mirrored to the screen so we can all bask in its glory. On the back end, on the background, you see the other part of the system, which is the data manager, which is a secure, encrypted, cloud-based, browser-enabled application to which all your data flows. So essentially, data is recorded on the app and is transmitted to the cloud, to your data manager. Typically, supervisors and employees operate the app, and managers operate the web portal. So let's look at some intake opportunities here. So out of the box, the app provides you with the ability to document 18 different types of incidents. However, the system is fully user configurable, so you may add your own. For example, we currently collect 3 types of injuries, which include beyond first aid only, and for record only, 5 types of damages, vehicular property damages, third-party liability, environmental, and utility strikes. 3 types of safety reports: near misses, observations in case somebody wants to report a safety concern, and hazards, which is more of an environmental safety concern, as well as the more recently added security, where you can document vandalism, trespassing, or theft, and conduct, which does have its own risk management implications, where you can document HR type of events, including personnel, infractions, interactions between employees, screening when an employee is not fit for work that day, and even use it for commendations. So we're going to start by documenting a utility strike using what we call the classic approach to documenting incidents in the app. So I selected utility strike. There's no specific employee that I'm documenting here. I just want to document the event. It's asking me where is the physical location, and I can simply navigate to it on the map if I have left the actual physical location where I was. Which job am I at? So we are working on an addition to the Duke University Hospital, and which asset was involved. All of these things are very easily preloaded into your system, and you can rapidly search and select, for example, in this case the 210G John Deere excavator. So we select that. Now let's provide a brief description of what has occurred. And for this purpose, we really like using the transcribing capabilities of the devices. So we just tap the microphone and speak. While excavating in the roadway area, the excavator encountered an unmarked and unlocated natural gas line, causing a small explosion followed by a fire, period. Very easy to document. Let's start collect additional data. So this was a damage event. This was a natural gas line. It was not marked correctly. It was not within a tolerance zone. I'm going to put in just some numbers here. And let's say the strike was, I don't know, 52 inches. Was it white line? No, it was not. Was there a locate ticket number for it? Sure, there was one. That's the number. Is it current? Yes, it is. When was it issued? Let's say last Friday. Okay. Did we notify 811? Yes, we did. When? A few minutes ago. Let's put in the time. Did they give us a damage ticket number? They did. Did we notify the utility? Who is the utility? I'm going to use a very generic, politically correct name here, Big Gasco. I think that would work. Did they give us a damage ticket number? They sure did. Did we call 911? Yes, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you can document this stuff right at the point of occurrence in real time and get the very accurate information. Let's quickly put in the crew size affected was 4. And yes, we had excavator downtime and 8 hours. Great. Now I can move on to collect statements. Now, statements can be from the reporting supervisor. In this case, I'm recording as if I'm Miss Ashley Wong, or an unlimited number of witnesses. And witnesses may include other employees, members of the public, first responders, safety officials, anybody. We're going to record as a supervisor. Now, there are 5 different types of statements one can collect. Text, which is pretty much either type or transcribe. Audio, which is a straight voice recording. Pictures, either take them in real time right now or add pictures you previously took, which is probably the most common use. You can draw sketches, and you can record video. All of this information gets uploaded and assembled as part of the incident report. So let's start with a quick supervisor transcribed statement. We were excavating in the roadway area when the excavator struck an unmarked and unlocated natural gas line, period. There was a small explosion and a fire, period. There are no injuries. I moved the crew 300 yards away and called 811 and 911, period. Of course, this is just to kind of show you the capabilities. These things tend to be much more verbose and detailed. And I can collect the supervisor signatures right there on their statement, and I'm just signing with my finger on the device. Let's add some more stuff. Let's add photos. So let me go ahead and select the photo. I'm not going to be too fancy here, just maybe one picture. And for now, that shows the actual strike itself. And that's good. Let's collect a statement from a witness. Let's talk to employee Matthew Lowry, and let's get an audio recording for Matthew. So, hey, Matthew, tell us what happened. I was standing about 50 yards away from the excavator and I wasn't looking, but then I heard a large boom and I turned and I saw flames, and we must have hit a gas line. There were no locator marks anywhere near where the excavator was. And the boss moved us to the other side of the highway, and the fire department showed up, and we didn't do any more work that day. Okay, so quick example of how we can collect information from people. I'm going to tap next. Everything looks good. As a supervisor, I'm going to sign the entire incident and submit it. Now, 3 things you need to know about this process up to this point. The first one is that everything that you saw me document, and this has been a very limited documentation set. Typically, we see much more data with a utility strike. Everything that you saw me document can be done on the device regardless of whether the device is online or not. And that's important because we often have jobs that are right between 2 cell towers, no Wi-Fi, no signal, no nothing. You can still do full documentation of everything that we saw. And once it finds itself back online, it does what we call a handshake and uploads the data. The second thing that you need to know is once the data is uploaded, it's gone from the device. So the data exists either on the device before it's submitted or in your database after it's submitted. And once it is submitted, the employee or the supervisor no longer has it on their device, tablet, phone, whatever. Lastly, and I switched over on my iPad to my email account to show you that the system generates your choice of email, text message, or both notification. So I'm the safety manager, and I just got a report telling me that at 2:06 this afternoon Eastern Time, Ashley Wong is reporting a utility strike. This is what happened. And the important thing here is there's a live link here that you can tap that if you have the authority to do so. You can tap that and drill down on your tablet and go and see the entire report with all the uploaded data. Okay, so this is all an example of how we would document an incident, and I specifically showed utility strikes because there's a massive interest in the NUCA member community surrounding this capability for the very simple reason that over a quarter of all utility strikes are not at the fault of the contractor. Yet, as you all know, um, facility owners pursue collection actions, billing and collections actions against contractors, demanding to be reimbursed for damages. This app helps you very effectively defend against unwarranted claims. It is so effective and so efficient that, in fact, many of our users pay for this app with by virtue of being able to deny one unwarranted claim. So there is great intrinsic value just to that type of incident. So that's why I kind of showed you that one. But it's equally important when you're documenting, God forbid, an injury or a vehicular collision. and you want to get everything accurate. So when you present a claim for workers' comp or a claim for insurance, it's all there. It's not going to get denied. It's going to get adjudicated rapidly. By collecting information right at the point of occurrence and reporting it in real time, you are availed of all of those things. So Bob mentioned AI. We keep introducing AI capabilities into the system. And what he was referring to was a few weeks ago, we added AI chat. And what that allows us to do is it allows us to use a chat client, which all of us who, do anything online are very familiar with, to collect the same kind of data. So now let's actually, instead of reporting an incident, let's do a proactive report. Let's say I'm at a job site that's about to commence, and I'm going to report now, so it picks up our time, a location type report, and I'm going to conduct a simple pre-dig survey. Now you get to control these forms. You can decide what they contain, what data you're collected, upload your own form styles. You can do all that stuff. So let me find the location that I'm at, and let me define the job, and I'm still at the same job. And if your job isn't here, you can always hit the blue button and add it on the fly. Let's stay with the Duke Hospital, and let's provide some details. So is traffic control required at our pre-dig site? No, it's not. We'll be excavating to 60 inches. Our soil type is type B. And we currently have locator marks for electric, telecommunications, gas, and water. Are the tickets current? Yes, they are. Okay. Now, let's go to statements. And what we're doing is we're going to add a bunch of pictures. We're going to say select multiple. We're going to add a bunch of pictures from the site before work has commenced. So I took a bunch of pictures from the site. Let me select them. I took 6 pictures. And what we're doing here, and here we're done with statements. Again, let me go ahead and sign it. Why not? Confirm, done, and we're submitting it. What we have done here, we have created a very simple, very quick pre-dig report that if we do have a utility strike downstream, we can then refer back to that report, which was already uploaded, and evidence what the terrain looked like before we actually started to work. So these are 2 examples out of an unlimited number that you can have of data that's collected very rapidly, yet very accurately, right from the field. Okay, so I'm going to put down the app, and let's go and take a look at what this all looks like when you log into the back end. So first, when you log into the system, you're going to see a dashboard with all kinds of interesting analytics dials that are going to discuss what kind of data you've collected, how timely it is, how inclusive the information is, pushing you always to get your people to collect more information in the most accurate way possible. Let's look at the utility strike that we just documented. So you can see here, we have the image that we uploaded. We have the supervisor's statement, short statement, and we even have the audio statement from the employee. Now, I don't know if WebEx will allow this thing to play through when I click play, if you can actually hear it or not. I'm going to give it a try. But please note that using AI, we also created an automatic transcription of what the employee said. And that goes into the reports as well.
I was standing about 50 yards away from the excavator and I wasn't looking, but then I heard a large boom and
I hope you were able to hear that. I don't know if you were.
We were able to hear it.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. So now, since this is utility strike, I'm still missing some data which may not have been known at the point of occurrence, in the time of occurrence. So I can go and click edit. Now I'm a manager now. This is not just for supervisors. And now I can go and put in more information. For example, what are the costs that you incurred because of this downtime. And you had labor costs, equipment costs. You want to document that. What kind of facility this was, a distribution facility. It was not a joint trench. It was not a cross-bore. Are they a one-call member? Yes, they are, and so on and so forth. And adding all this stuff helps you create a data set that's there for a while, because sometimes it takes a year to a year and a half to get that unwarranted bill in the mail, right? So let's make sure that locator errors were the reason for the utility strike. And now it's fully documented. And if we want, we can go and press another button right here, and we can compile a full report of the incident. And again, this is true for any type of incident: injuries, property damages, third-party liability, environmental, everything. So you can see the system just went and compiled a report, and it has all the data that we collected. This is a PDF, of course. It saves it as a PDF, so you can email it, print it, file it, do whatever you need to. This stays in perpetuity in your cloud site, so you can access it and send it to whomever. We have some subscribers that have to send every utility strike occurrence to a state entity, such as a Attorney General's office in Nebraska, I believe. We have subscribers whose contracts require them to file a report of a utility strike with the general contractor, whoever hired them, or the state. And of course, you can use this kind of report to help refute an unwarranted collection activity. And again, you can see whatever images. Here's the signature of the supervisor. It's all there on a convenient PDF right there. If I go and look, for example, at reports, we can see the report that we created, the pre-dig report that we did. And again, exact same concept, same structure. Here's the report. Here's some data that we had. Here's the documentation. Here are the different images. Again, let's go and click the report button and generate this. And we just created a full summary report. And again, you see same thing. Here's the pre-dig survey with all the data, location coordinates. By the way, if you turn on location services on your tablets or phones, you will actually get, next to the pictures, the coordinates of where the picture was physically taken at as part of the metadata. An important documentation feature. You can see all the pictures that we took pre-dig are all there, all fully documented, and we have this great report here. And now, let's, for argument's sake, say that, oh, that pre-dig report was really the precursor to the utility strike that occurred earlier. I can go to the utility strike. Let me open it. And I can go and link it to that particular report. And let me find it. Here it is. Select it, link it. Yes, link the reports. And I've now created a connection between the pre-dig and the utility strike that actually happened in that job. So we have complete end-to-end. You can communicate the reports and the data directly from the system. You can click email and email information right from the system. And again, this is true for any kind of event. I'm going to show you as a last example here. Let me show you a recent injury. So this is an example of an injury incident that occurred. And you can see here's the location information, where it happened, some details about it. They went to a clinic with an escort. Here are all the forms. The employee signed certain things on the spot. PDFs are created with signatures right there. Image of the injury, don't want to gross you out. Again, you can see here a full incident report documenting everything that happened with the statements, describing the injury. He was operating a jumping jack that slipped and injured his right leg. That's all there. And last thing that I want to show you is on the incident, because there's a couple more things I want to show you. Last thing I want to show you here is the system actually has a built-in form filler. So the system can actually go and generate for you, fill out forms, any forms. In this case, we're filling out an OSHA 301 form, but you can fill out first report of injury, you can fill out insurance forms. System will write the data from the incident directly to the PDF, which then you can save, add it to the record, and communicate it to the system. Back to the AI things that were mentioned. Some of you may have seen the system in a previous incarnation. It is now very encompassing of all activities. We have recently added AI reports. So you can actually generate reports from the system and obtain data by using a tool that's very similar to ChatGPT. We have bolted on an entire AI front end, and I can say, hey, give me all the reports from 2026 that have soil type, actually let's do all reports that have soil type B in it, because for some reason I have a desire to look at all of them. And it's going to do exactly that. It's going to go through your own database, and it's going to identify and locate and list for us all of the reporting data collection that occurred where you did a pre-dig in a soil classification B. And give it a couple of seconds here. It's digging through the whole stack, and there it is. And you can see all the reports are here, and I can go and click on one of them and drill down exactly to it and get a report. And this one was July 25th, 2023, and so on. So a lot of powerful capabilities in either looking at data in real time or analyzing it, evaluating it after the fact. There are a variety of very powerful visualization tools out there. One of them that's a favorite of mine is the incident mapper. You can very easily, let me refresh my screen, pardon me. You can very easily click on a button. Now we have incidents all over creation in this demo site. So let me just drill down. You can see, so we're like in the Cary, Morrisville area in North Carolina. And you can see this is a mapping of where incidents have occurred. And all of these incidents are color coded. And these are specific by type. See, this is a utility strike. This is beyond first aid. This is a vehicular, and so on and so forth. And you can just click and it'll drill down to that particular incident. So, and this was a collision with a company pickup truck, and you can see there's some sketches that were drawn. There were maps that were added. A lot of capabilities here. So at this point, I was allotted 30 minutes, and I just burned through 30 minutes. I'd like to take any questions. Bob, Zach?
Thank you, Eddie. Let's now open the webinar to questions. You can use the chat feature to submit a question, and I'll read the question to the presenter. Or if you prefer, unmute yourself, state your name and company, and ask the question directly. Remember to remute yourself after you finish. Eddie, here's the first one. How much does it cost?
I was cutting to the chase, people, eh? So the system is priced based on the company size and its number of employees. It does start at $3,000 a year, which, as I mentioned, all it takes is one utility strike refuted, one collision or injury, well managed and adjudicated properly, and you can just pay for this for 2 or 3 years just with one event. Naturally, if you have dozens a year, it certainly pays for itself in weeks. It's $3,000. The good thing about it is that that rate includes an annual subscription, and it includes all services. So that rate includes the onboarding sessions to help you set it up, the train the trainer sessions to train your supervisors, full system support, both toll free and email, system maintenance in case there's any problem, and I think very importantly is all system updates. We update the system between 20 to 25 times a year, and that rate includes everything that we put out there. So there's great value there at I want to say, a reasonably low cost.
Our next question is, will NUCA have access to our data?
Okay, yeah, we get that. So no, the data, and you'll see it in your subscription agreement, the data belongs to your company and exclusively only to your company. No one else has access or is allowed access without your written consent. And yeah, it's only yours, and it's all kept secure, encrypted, and no one can get to it.
The question was, can you provide a summary of this program for the management team, including price range?
Sure. Let me go ahead, and we will send out to participants a link with all of that information, so they have it for their reference.
Another question here. Does anyone help us set it up?
Yes, as I kind of alluded to, the subscription includes an onboarding session, which kind of walks you through the few steps you need to set up. They're very straightforward because initial setup is typically comprised of grabbing about 3 to 4 spreadsheets and uploading the data. So you're going to upload a spreadsheet of your employees. You're going to upload a spreadsheet of your assets. You're going to enumerate which job locations are currently active, if they're of any real duration, because typically you do not want to upload jobs that are very short term in nature. But if you have standing jobs that are longer term, you want to have them present in advance. And also, yes, who gets notifications, and setting up the system users. So there's a session that helps you with the onboarding, with uploading, and it doesn't take long at all to do that. But absolutely, you're not left to your own devices, pun intended.
Looks like we have one last question. What happens to our data if we stop using the app?
Everybody's so data centric. Yes. So as I mentioned, the data is kept in the cloud. It's secure, encrypted, and is yours and yours only. If you decide to no longer subscribe, and that is listed in the subscription agreement, the data is yours to download it. So you're giving an opportunity to grab a file that's a download of all the data that you've created over time. Hopefully we don't come to this, right? But if it does, you can download the data and keep it on your system for future use.
We have another data question from Jim. Is the data you collect for utility strikes uploaded to the DIRT report?
No, it is not. And for 2 important reasons, I think, and I'm going to be completely apolitical here on this. First off is that there are many NUCA users that do not report DIRT data. That's one. And 2, our focus when it comes to utility strikes, and I want to be perfectly clear on this, is we are, as our VP of Marketing says, we're on the contractor side of the trench. We are here to help defend the contractor from unwarranted claims. As such, the data has a lot of contractor and facility owner and ticket identifiers and information that typically DIRT does not include in its reports, but is vital in order to help ascertain the accuracy of what exactly happened. So these are very different, I think, objectives. I hope that answered that question in a satisfactory manner.
Are there any other questions? Going once? I think that's it.
You're
Thank you,
supposed to go
everyone.
3 times. No, come on, that's not an option.
All right, hey, going twice?
There you
Going
go.
for a third time.
There you go. But yeah, I want to thank the folks at NUCA for arranging this. We will send out additional information to your emails with links, with everything was included. And as Bob and Zach mentioned, I believe this also will be posted somewhere on NUCA.
I want to go ahead and thank AD for his time today to present this fascinating information to our members. As a reminder, today's webinar has been recorded. A recording of this webinar will be made available on NUCA's YouTube channel over the next few days. And thank you for your time today to join us for this Webinar Wednesday and for supporting NUCA. Thank you for your time this afternoon, and please enjoy the rest of your week.